Katherine Johnson was born and raised in West Virginia, a mathematical and language whiz. She graduated from high school at 14 and college at 18. Her father, who worked mostly as a lumberjack, was, in Katherine's words, the smartest man she ever knew.
He put all four of us through college. His basic salary was $100 a month.
A chance encounter on campus changed Katherine's fate.
I was walking across the campus and I met a math teacher who said, "I'm coming back to teach math this year, and if you are not in my class, I will come and find you." He was great. Dr. W.W. Sheffield Clayton.
In 1939, Katherine Johnson became the first African-American woman to attend graduate school at West Virginia University in Morgantown.
3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
In the early days of NASA, machines were not 100% reliable. Johnson manually calculated the launch times, the trajectories, and emergency escape paths in case the missions got into trouble. What was her job title then? She and other women who were believed to have a lot of attention to detail were called computers. Even after NASA started relying on the IBM computer, many of the astronauts, like John Glenn, refused to board the missions and told Johnson hand-check the calculations.
John Glenn was to be the first astronaut to go up into the atmosphere, and they wanted him to come back in a special place. And that was what I did. I computed his trajectory, and I did most of the work on those by hand. But when he got ready to go up, he said, "Call her." And if she says the computer's right, I'll take it.
That's right. Katherine was a vital part of John Glenn's orbit in every sense of the word. Later in her career, it was Katherine Johnson's calculations and strategic thinking that helped get the Apollo 13 astronauts safely back to Earth. Then she worked on the space shuttle and a planned mission to Mars. The story of Katherine Johnson and other female African-American mathematicians at NASA is memorialized in the film Hidden Figures, which in 2017 was a Best Picture nominee in the Oscars. Johnson is the recipient of the 2015 Presidential Medal of Freedom. In 2016, the NASA Langley Research Center named a new 40,000 square foot wing the Katherine G. Johnson Computational Research Facility on the occasion of the 55th anniversary of astronaut Alan Shepard's historic rocket launch and splashdown, which Johnson helped achieve. Johnson began her career as a teacher, and a teacher she has remained.
I was always around people who were learning something. I liked to learn. I think very often that's missing with kids today. I don't know other than constantly say to them, you need to learn how to learn.
For Katherine, teaching wasn't about answers. It was about the joy of solving problems.
I never have taught answers. I teach you what the problem is, how to attack it. If you attack it properly, you will get the answer.
Katherine doesn't dwell on the prejudices she may have experienced. If you ask her, she'll say,
I didn't feel the segregation at NASA because everybody there was doing research. You had a mission and you worked on it.
She's thought a lot about young women in science and the courage to ask the right questions.
There's no such thing as a dumb question. It's dumb if you don't ask it. But girls are capable of doing everything men are capable of doing. Sometimes they have more imagination than men.
For showing us just how high math and problem solving can take us, it all computes. Katherine Johnson is now a Liberty Science Center genius.
Katherine Johnson is 98, and it's not so easy for her to travel these days. Accepting the award on her behalf is her daughter, Joylette Gobble Heilich. She's a retired Lockheed Martin engineer who lives in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Ms. Heilich, would you please join me on stage? Ms. Heilich, for your mother, Katherine Johnson's pioneering mathematical work at NASA and her career devotion to space exploration, it's my honor to present your mother with this Liberty Science Center Distinguished Genius Award.
I'll try to do this without crying. I saw this facility, and I just wish my mother were 40 years younger, because you wouldn't be able to get her out of here. She loves learning, she loves teaching, and she will always say, "What did you learn today, Joylette?" And I'll say, "Well, Mom, I was doing something for you, and I didn't get a chance to do anything else." But I'd like to thank all of you who know about her, the Liberty Science Center, Mr. Hoffman, Christine Schroeder, Elise Nolan, all of these people who helped get my son and me here. We are the math people in the family. I majored in math, and I was at NASA for about a year and a half. But one of my managers said, "What happened to you?" And I said, "Well, I'm not Katherine." But for those of you who saw the movie or not, my mother is an ordinary, extraordinary person. She is extremely humble, because she said, "All I did was do my work." And to say that she didn't feel segregation, I said brilliance trumped segregation, because they needed what she could give them, and they had to forget who she was. She worked with a group of men, and because her father told her as a child that you are no less than anybody else, but you are no better than anybody else. And so for that, I interpret it to mean that she didn't feel superior to anybody, but neither did she feel inferior to anybody. So when she went into the office with all of those white engineers in their white shirts and their ties, and they were looking at her, "Show me my desk and let me get to work." And so to see what this movie that depicted part of her life has done to the young people, she would be especially happy, and she is, because we've gotten many, many letters. I've got 3 notebooks there now that people thumb through and read some of the letters to her at times. But she's just most happy when children are encouraged and inspired and realize, I really can do it. So many places, so many things are out there to tell them they can't. But they can. Children don't come here dumb. They don't come here hateful or bad. They just need good teachers. And if they all had teachers like my mother, we'd have a much better world. Thanks to all of you again, and thanks to the Library Space Center. And I will see her this weekend. That picture you saw of her was, I think she was 92, so I can count. I'll say one more thing to tell you. At 98, she still got it. I said, Mom, do you know how important what you did was? Because we find out with each interview, she says just a little bit more to somebody. And I said, the theater at NASA in Virginia has 63 seats, 53 seats. I got it wrong. I said, Mom, they filled that theater twice. What's the answer? She said 560. I said, Mama, how did you get that so fast? She said, I saw the number when you said it, and I multiplied it times 2. So I guess she did have it. And again, on her behalf, and with my son pulling up my back, again, thank you, and thank you, all of you, sir.